Yo, what's going on? It's Spam, man. Day after Thanksgiving. Hope everybody ate good. Spent a lot of time with family. Had a good time. I came out here, had a driver leave out today, and we talked a little bit about driver retention. I'm gonna be posting some more videos on driver retention, man. But first, I just want to say it's important that you guys study driver retention. You know, so many people, so many so-called owner operators or fleet owners, you know, they have trucks and they don't study driver retention. They don't study how to keep these drivers in the seat, keep them happy, keep them moving, and keeping them paid. When people talk about getting drivers and talk about getting trucks, to me, a lot of people just think it's so simple. Man, you go get another truck, or you go get a truck, you put a driver in it, and you just, that's it. You know, you put a driver in it, and you put any driver in it at that. So that's definitely not the case. That's definitely not it. Listen, I've been doing this a little over 4 years. I've come very, very far. A lot further than some people, or probably a lot farther than most, because most people, when they buy a truck, they're still within 4 years, they might just not be getting it paid off if they paid a little extra on it. You know, me personally, I own 5 of them. They don't all reside here in Columbia, but I own 5 of them. And at one point in time, I had all 5 of them running at all times or at the same time. And my longest tenured driver right now has been with me almost 2 years. You know, if you let other people in the industry tell you, you don't keep a driver over 6 months. That couldn't be further away from the truth. So again, back to driver retention. One of the biggest things is quite a few things. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you can't cross every T and dot every I. You can't make everybody happy. You can't be everything for everybody. However, the basics are, you know, I would say making sure you got decent equipment, you know, and that may be big for some drivers. That may not be big for some drivers, but you want to make sure you got decent equipment. You want to make sure you're paying these guys a decent salary. And I'm not talking about, you know, $1,000 a week or $1,200 a week or $1,300 a week. You got to think that there's a lot of competition out here. You got bigger companies out here, $1 billion companies out here that are paying these guys $1,200 a week. You know, and so somebody would probably think mathematically that you should, because you're not a $1 billion company yet, that you can't afford to pay these people that, because what about me? What about the company? You know, what about what I got going on? Listen, as a business owner, not even as a fleet owner, I'm so sorry about my camera angles. As a business owner, you're gonna make way more sacrifices than anybody else in this business. Anybody else that works for you, you're gonna make the most sacrifices. And once you get to a point where you fully understand that slow motion is better than no motion, and it's better to have a decent amount instead of like more money is not always better, because again, there's competition out here, and sometimes, depending on the driver, they'll leave you for the smallest thing, for the smallest amount of change. Somebody might be paying them $1 more or a certain percentage more. But I feel like when you encompass good pay, good equipment, you make sure you have a good working together culture, respect, you know, integrity. And I could go down the line, man. It's just, you have to be a decent person yourself with a certain character and a certain amount of dignity to make sure that you can feel that out within the people that you hire. I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody that comes to me with a CDL, but their character is off and all the other stuff, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Or you get a driver, he's pretty much a steering wheel holder because you can't make him happy. He got a problem with this, he got a problem with that, he got a problem with the pay, he got a problem with everything. And more than likely, he agreed to it when he first started. But now it's different. Those are not the people that you want working for you as a fleet owner. It's not. The people that you want working for you are the people that believe in you, believe in your vision, that trust you, and, you know, obviously are going to be respectful and professional at all times, no matter what the issue is. Because the fact of the matter is, like I tell people when I bring them on, when I hire them, when everything's going good, everything's good. But when everything is going bad, that's when you show me who you really are. And that's who I'm concerned with. So in transportation, again, in anything, in business, things are going to happen. Things are going to go bad. And I'm more concerned about who that person is going to be and how they're going to handle themselves, how they're going to conduct their business, how they're going to interact with personnel from the company to get situations handled. So that's like the first part of driver retention, making sure that you got the right candidate, making sure you got the right person with the right character, the right dignity, the person that wants to do things a certain way because they understand that not only is the company name attached to it, but their name is attached to it as well. Like I said, you definitely want to have your equipment on point. You definitely want to have your pay on point. And you just want to make sure you have things in order. You know, when things come up with the truck, because they are man-made, things are going to come up. Do not hesitate. Do not say, oh, I'll get to that next week. Do not say, oh, I'll get to that when you get home. You know, if it's something major, you know, if it's something light, you know, I can understand that. But if it's something major, prime example, I got APUs on all my trucks. And, you know, anything comes up with that APU where a driver can't sleep well, like you got to understand the value of that APU and that it's a big deal. So if that auxiliary power unit goes bad while they out on the road, depending on the situation, it's either going to happen during the trip, or it's going to happen after the trip or before the trip. They're going to the nearest APU shop to get that situation rectified. Because again, and for those of you that don't know what an APU is, again, it's an auxiliary power unit. It heats and cools the truck while the truck is actually off. So if a driver can't sleep well during the summertime because it's hot and the APU is not working, and you decide that you ain't got the money, or you decide that it's not important to you because you're not sleeping in the truck, you might as well count your days with that driver. You might as well count your days with them. And, get ready to go back to the drawing board. Again, some drivers are flexible. Some drivers have been through the mud with other owner-operators or fleets. And so to be in a situation like that, they're probably okay. But again, I'm going to just say me. And this is obviously what I would advise for other people. You have to keep up the quality of service for these drivers. Because me as a fleet owner, it is my job to service them. That's how I look at it. It's my job to service them. Anything that they need, anything that I can do to make their job easier, consider it done. Within reason, consider it done. But, when you come out here and you just kind of have your own rules and you feel like, oh, I'm the boss, you're going to do what I say, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. Don't get me wrong, some of that's true. But you as a owner-operator / fleet owner, you have to be flexible as well. Listen, you're not going to hit it big every time. It's not always going to be in your favor every time. And you got to take the punches and roll with them. So again, sometimes taking the punches and rolling with them means you have to bite the bullet to make a driver happy. Again, that's not a continuous situation, because at that point the driver may own you or own your company instead of you owning the company. These high turnovers with drivers, I haven't experienced it. You know, a lot of people come up to me, man, how do you deal with your drivers? Where the drivers at? It's hard for me to say, man. I mean, I know they out there, but again, the drivers that I started with, I still got them. There's one guy that's not with me anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's one guy that's not with me anymore. And he chose to go get his own truck, which I congratulate him for that. I have nothing bad to say about that, because he did something to better his situation, to better himself. If anything, I'm glad that, you know, my company could be a resource for him. But guys, again, you guys got to focus on driver retention, not just recruiting people to put them in the truck, but focus on driver retention. You know, obviously, if there's not a driver staying in that truck consistently, that truck's not going to be moving consistently. And depending on what your situation is, what your overhead is, you're probably not going to keep that truck for long. You know, trucking overall can put a bad taste in your mouth, and drivers can be a reason for it. However, sometimes I think it's important for us as fleet owners to make sure that we're looking at ourselves in the mirror every day and making sure that we're putting our best foot forward and making sure that we're taking care of our people. Again, guys, you got to make sure that the driver understands that now that they're a part of your family, that their family is your family. So when you take it to that level, when you take it to that mindset, you're going to do whatever you can in your power to make sure that they are taken care of. Because if they don't eat, their family don't eat. And no person in their right mind is going to let their family starve. So if you are okay with letting a person's family starve, you know, it's not going to work out for you. I know people say, well, that's not my responsibility. It is your responsibility. Because the opposite of that is saying to the driver that all you care about is the money and this truck moving. Forget whatever else you got going on. If you can't manage with what I'm doing for you, or et cetera, go somewhere else. As if you're calling they bluff, because they will go somewhere else. But overall, make sure you're doing what you need to do to keep your drivers happy. Make sure you just, you know, you sit down and you come up with a recipe that's going to make these guys happy. As a fleet owner or as a business owner, you're last. I hate to tell you that. You're last. Not that you won't get any benefit from this business, but your benefit comes last. These people that are at the forefront, these people that are the face of your company when your trucks are out here running on the road, they're the ones out here talking to these other drivers at truck stops. Man, half of the drivers that I have come from word of mouth. Word of mouth. Don't get me wrong, my assistant, she posts flyers and, you know, we pass them out at truck stops and this, that, and the third. But half of this stuff has come from drivers being at the fuel island or in a driver's lounge, and it starts off, who you drive for? Oh, how you like it? And then, I mean, a good product gonna sell itself. So guys, again, make sure you focusing on driver retention. Make sure you're taking care of these guys. They got families to feed. Stop trying to, don't try to take all the money and not break them off anything. You know, don't go cheap on the equipment, or don't try to not fix the equipment because you don't want to spend the money. Don't do that. Do whatever you got to do to keep these wheels turning on your equipment. And again, taking care of these guys. And you know, I feel like the odds will forever be in your favor. Will it always work? I mean, again, everybody is not for everybody. And you can't be everything for everybody. But like I said, that works for me. And I'm hoping that will work for somebody else that's trying to figure out how to get their drivers, how to keep their drivers, what they doing wrong. You know, I definitely try to take some of my own advice and see how that works out for you. This is Lifestyle with Spam coming to you guys. Just wanted to come on here and shoot another video for you guys. Just try to drop some game on this trucking stuff. You know, like I said, a lot of people ask me how I do it, how I've been so successful in a short amount of time. So again, I'll be dropping more videos, just talking about the lifestyle, you know, what it's like to live this lifestyle. I don't live some crazy super duper rapper lifestyle, but I'm pretty comfortable. So if you like what you hear, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Make sure you do that. Make sure you click the notification button, man. Notification button, leave some comments, you know, show some love. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I lying? Are you a driver? Say something. Are you a fleet owner? Say something. You know what I'm saying? What's your opinion on it? Let's have a dialogue about it.